We've got just under 12 minutes till the market's open. Obviously, we've already had major news today. So, yeah, excited to see what the markets offer. NFP was way more than we expected, hence the massive crash. Obviously, if it's green, then it's usually bearish for indices. We also had the average hourly earnings, so that's why it wasn't too big of a drop. Obviously, I know it looks it, but usually NFP's a little bit bigger. It was still. Why is that not? There we go. What was it? It was about a 245 point drop. But I don't know. Just waiting around now. I caught my little retracement trade. Had it on screen briefly. Wasn't too much profit. I think. What was it? Let me have a look. It was $300 on a 150k account. Played it safe. Didn't want to risk too much. I think I was risking about $100, so nothing too crazy. But you know, just a bit of NFP fun. I know that the dollar's just kind of exploded in value. Since October, we're up what 95%? No, sorry, 9.5%, not 95. Jesus, I've been seeing some crazy profits from people lately. It seems like people have been absolutely rinsing their prop firms and stuff. Yeah, I saw quite a lot of people were expecting NFP to be bullish on gold, but I mean, it seems to have just brushed it off straight away. Obviously, we had the flash crash, and then it's just acting like it never even happened. Had the same zone marked for NFP, but didn't get in. Got in at the wick, but closed with 40 pips. Close my charts here, see your observation on charts. It sounds like everyone's making money, so you know we love to see it. We've got 7 minutes until the New York Stock Exchange opens, so pretty much just chilling out until then. I'm not too sure on what I want to see on indices today, just because we've got a lot of like liquidity being built up on the higher time frames. Obviously, we've got kind of this whole area here that we're wanting to sweep. On the 4 hour, we're still in a bullish market, but having a lot of I don't really know what to call it. Kind of like it's wanting to change, but not quite there yet. I wouldn't call it quite like consolidation, but it's building up nonetheless. So I think what I'd like to see is for us to maybe come, obviously not today, but I'd really like us to come and sweep this area and then finally get a break to the downside. But with Dixie doing what it's doing, I really don't know if that's going to happen. US 30, I think, is the only one that's really been giving us some hope on the charts. US 30, we had a nice break of these lows here. We've not quite tapped into this demand zone here. Yeah, everything's kind of up in the air at the moment. I believe everything's just kind of waiting for Trump's presidency to become real. I know on what day was it? I believe it was Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Trump made the announcements where he was wanting to. It was like take over Canada and have that become one of the US states, and then he was on about taking over a bunch of other places as well. And I know it caused a lot of fear in the market, so we had quite a crazy drop Tuesday. I know a lot of people kind of got eaten up. I definitely was on the wrong side of it. I was expecting for this zone here to get tapped into, which I posted in the trading room, I believe, trading chat. I ended up going long just here, and my take profit was originally these highs. I took some here. Actually, it was after 90 points. So I took half here, and I left a runner for full take profit with my stops at break even, and obviously I got stopped at break even. But yeah, then it kind of left me on a bit of a tilt mode for like the rest of the day, where I was then trying to basically catch the buy that I was originally wanting. At no point did I ever change bias. Thankfully, I kind of got in at good zones. For example, I caught a long, I think it was 550. I caught a long, closed some profit after about 50 points, and then again stopped at break even. And then there was just I just kind of I went short exactly there, hit stop loss. Yeah, I remember you saying, bro. It would have been a really nice short off of this area here. You know, if you were to have kind of marked out this order block there, you know, that would have been a absolutely incredible place for a short. But it's always easier saying that, you know, with hindsight. But you know, it's always hard to tell when it's actually happening. But yeah, Tuesday definitely a bad day for me. I still managed to walk away with some profit, but yeah, I feel like my mentality kind of went out the window after being like 11 points away from full take profit on this trade. So I then just kind of kept on trying to get the move, and it never quite happened. Like I said, still walked away with profit, but it was definitely a bad day for, you know, following my trading plan, which, you know, I feel is normal. I feel like everyone kind of has those days. You know, it's hard to have perfect mentality every single day when you're doing the same thing, you know. But then we came back Wednesday, adjusted, fresh-minded. I believe we caught shorts after we swept these highs here. We had a lot of like liquidity being built up. Then the fresh 4-hour chart came in. We set the wick, and then we caught shorts. And then we stayed out for the rest of the day. So we were back on it Wednesday with a nice profitable day. I caught my 100 points and walked away. Tuesday, I can't remember what I did on. Oh, Tuesday I stayed out. Sorry, Thursday I stayed out because markets were closed. That's why there's no New York session. It was US Memorial Day, so we stayed out. And yeah, we're back here Friday. Markets are opening up in 1 minute, and yeah, we'll see if we get some nice trades. Kind of expecting NQ to just rip to the upside as soon as the markets open. Okay, markets have opened. I've been playing around with a strategy I've been seeing around quite a lot, and it's the power of 3 from the 10 o'clock 4-hour candle. I'm not sure if does anyone in the chat know what I'm on about by that? So you basically you're waiting for the 10 o'clock candle, obviously American time, and what you're wanting is when it opens, you want a little bit of consolidation, then you want a sweep, and then you want a change of state of delivery, which is whereabouts you then get your entry, and then you trade from there. I've not had too much success with it. Seen it a while ago. Yeah, it's something I stumbled across like a couple weeks back. I've not taken any sort of live trades from it as of yet, but something I'm kind of interested to see if it actually works. As of today, I don't think it's really going to set up for my style of trading. Um, as you all know, I like to have consistent breaks of structure with a nicely planted order block. Come in, tap off the order block, ideally from the 50% zone, but we get a small entry from the top, and then you target the previous high. But given the fact that we had major news today, I don't think we're going to set that up today. So it's probably going to be more of a reading price action and trying to follow what the market does. I did manage to be a little bit cheeky with an FP. I had a sell limit set here and a buy limit set here, and so I opened up a sell just there, and I think I closed out after like 150 points. Yeah, so I closed somewhere around here. Again, was only a really small position, but I made about another $300 from that. So just a nice little trade. Obviously, it's a bit of a gamble, but you know, it's Friday. It's the fun day. So I kind of take back what I said. We did actually somewhat have my setup. Obviously, we broke this high here, and we broke this high just there. And we came in, we tapped into this order block just there. Obviously, we didn't quite get the 50% retracement zone, but then if we push up and take this high, then it would have been my setup, but I wouldn't really say it's got enough confirmations for my liking. So even if I'd have noticed it, probably wouldn't have taken that trade. I'm not sure if I've shown this off in the stream before, but I've added a new zone onto my sessions, and it's called the New York Fight. And I'm still waiting for you guys to enable me to have my soundboard back. But when I have the soundboard, there'll be a little fight bell going off whenever the market's open. And basically, it's just the fight between the bears and the bulls. And yeah, we just basically first 15 minutes we just see who wins. It's just a little thing that we've been doing in the live streams lately on my Discord. But yeah, I've been playing a bit too much around with the soundboard. Absolutely love it. Yeah, we could just see a full day of consolidation, to be honest. Tends to happen after major news, but then we also can sometimes see like ridiculous amounts of volume get pumped into the markets with huge spikes. So we'll see what happens. Rudy said lol. You've not been in one of my streams in a while, Rudy. You need to get in, bro. Witness the soundboard. Oh, no worries, AJ. I understand, man. Missed you too, man. Yeah, I bet. I couldn't imagine how stressful it is running a prop firm and trading and stuff all at the same time. I bet you get so many sort of like, random requests of people. I bet would be funny, but I saw one guy in a different server for a different prop firm, and he was trying to like argue with the support staff because he lost the account, and it was like, well, he'd bought and it crashed. Like he literally, it was happening about 25 minutes ago, You can't imagine how weird people can be. Yeah, he'd try and bought like before NFP, and obviously it had absolutely tanked. He blew his account, and he was trying to blame the prop firm for like manipulating the markets, and quite clearly doesn't understand how brokers work, and how they're not in charge of the charts, like the charts are the charts. And he was just in the chat, just arguing with them about how they like manipulated his account and blew it and caused it to crash, blah blah blah. And everyone else in the chat is just going, "Bro, you got ruined by NFP. Like, it's not their fault." But I feel like that'd be a mild thing compared to what you guys probably have to put up with. You can't imagine how weird people are going to be. People do not want to take responsibility. Why would I want to manipulate someone that will cause me more harm? Yeah, exactly. Like, if why would you want to fail one person when it could then ruin like the reputation of possibly 1,000 other customers coming to you? It makes no sense. We're not trying to do like a my forex funds over here. We're trying to see successful traders. I remember how crazy the prop firm space became after my forex funds went down, and it was obviously it was put out they were like slipping people and basically scamming them, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is the end of prop firms." And I mean, that was, God, how long ago was that? That was a year, 2 years ago. Potential short on gold, says most. Uh, yeah, possibly. I don't normally watch gold during New York session, but for me, ideal entry would have been this 1 minute close just here. Going off of my previous stream where I streamed off my strategy. We had all the sweeps of basically everything. 5 minute chart. Yeah, kind of a complete sweep. It is risky because we are in a quite substantial uptrend. But you would have had this fair value gap get inverted, and then get short from here, and then be targeting the kind of previous lows. But 25 pips scalp at work, can't trade much. I mean, 25 pips is still 25 pips. You can't grumble at that. Profit is profit. Can't remember who said it, but there was a famous quote, and it was like, "You'll never go broke if you take your profits." It was way more sort of philosophical than that, but philosophical. I can't even talk till it's Friday. But yeah, it was way more sort of philosophical than that, but it was essentially you'll never go broke if you learn to secure your profits, and it stands true. I'm saying it all the time. I say it all the time as well. People always say like, "Oh, why did you close early? Why don't you hold for TP?" Blah blah blah. And it's like, if I'm happy with the, didn't know I'm not famous. There you go, Rudy 2025. But yeah, man, like at the end of the day, if you're happy with the profit, then you're happy with the profit. I mean, realistically, I don't even have to trade today because I'm already up. So, if I don't catch anything today, then I don't catch anything. But I've still made my bag. I'd still be happy with it, and it is what it is. Yeah, I feel like given the bearish open, we could see more downward momentum for the day. Obviously, I am interested in these two areas here getting swept before any more sort of like consideration to the upside. I'm just hoping that we don't kind of come and plant a third before we start seeing more upward movement. 45 pips I did. Yeah, see? Like, 45 pips is... At the end of the day, if you were to catch 45 pips, you know, what, twice a week, even? Like, that's still way more. Yeah, exactly. All you need is 10 pips a day. Obviously, you know, convert that to whatever it is you're trading. You know, for me, it'd be 100 pips because it's a tenth of the size on indices. But you know, even 100 pips a day, you know, 10 points, like that's still more than you need. 10 knots, 10 pips is 1k. Yeah, exactly. It's like I was talking to someone the other day about the importance of capital, right? Because he was so focused on having one account and, you know, making 5, 6, 7,000 a day on this one account. And I was just saying to him, I was like, why are you so fixated with huge profits when you should just be more focused on larger capital and consistency? And he was asking me sort of, you know, what do I mean? What do I mean? And I was like, well, let's say you've got, you know, one 50k account and, you know, you make, I don't know, $500 profit, you know, so 1%. You're going to look at that and think, okay, I've made 1%, but, you know, stereotypically people look at it in the dollar form. I've only made $500. You know, I need to make more. I need more. I want more. Now, if you were to think that, you know, a trade copier costs you, I don't know, 20, 30, maybe $40 a month, you could have 10 50k accounts, at which point you're now 500k of capital. Take that one exact trade that made you, you know, the $500, but now it's multiplied by 10. You're keeping your accounts safe. You're not over leveraging. You're not chasing trades. You know, you're able to remain focused, have the markets come to you, you know, and follow your plan. And you're still happy with, you know, the capital that you're, with the profits you're making, because that $500 has now just been multiplied by 10 for the exact same amount of risk. That is where you have to adjust the capital to reflect your target, not the percent you risk. Yeah, exactly. You know, if I had, I don't know, a 100k account and I was wanting to make 10 grand, you know, $10,000 a month, well, I'm having to make 10%. But if I had, I don't know, 2, 3, 5, you know, 100k accounts, well, the amount of trades I actually need to take and win drops drastically for me to aim for that, you know, $10,000 a month profit target. I mean, I personally don't believe you should have, you know, profit targets anyway, to be honest. I feel like that adds stress to you, and, you know, it makes it so that, you know, say if I don't know, you're aiming for $10,000 a month and you've got 2 days left and you've only made $7,000. In those last 2 days, you're gonna overtrade. You're gonna try and force trades because you're so focused and fixated on making that $10,000 that actually you're now going to give back that other 7,000 that you've managed to profit. And that's why I don't like doing it. The way I see it is just focus on quality setups, and, you know, whatever profit you make, you make. You know, some months it'll be, you know, $10. Other months it'll be, you know, $1,000. It doesn't matter as long as you're staying consistent and following your trading plan. Like the profits should always be secondary. Very valuable discussions. Please elaborate more on this topic. Target should be there only so you know when to stop. When you have enough, not force trade. Yeah, now we're on a separate podcast. I mean, yeah, I'm sure me and Rudy could arrange a podcast if to host in here if you'd be down for that, Rudy. Obviously, I know you're a busy man. Or we can just keep talking about it here. Markets aren't really doing a whole lot, so good stuff, good stuff. But um, even for you can be my first guest. Yeah, yeah, I'd like that. I know that you had a podcast a couple months ago, and you dragged me in very unexpectedly. I was there, snacks in hand, like my headset wasn't even on, and you were like, "Now I'm going to invite B Dub," and I was like, "Oh crap!" And scrambling to get all my stuff on, and we just ended up talking about Trump. uh, yeah, it seems like we're seeing more downside on indices now that we're actually talking about the charts again. We just went on a huge tangent. Um, like I was saying earlier, we do have these areas that I really want us to come and sweep. My only concern is that once we do, we're only really looking at this area down here for buying opportunities, and the likelihood of us hitting this by the end of today is like basically non-existent. We probably need about 3 NFPs to happen all at once to all be bearish for that to actually happen. So, have you actually seen the manufacturing process for the Rolls-Royce Starlight ceiling or whatever it's called? It's crazy intricate. Like it's like over 1,000 pieces of like fiber optic cable, and they just like it's so intricately done, and it's so impressive. Yeah, yeah. You can also you can choose to have it done by like a certain date, so like it will match the stars in the sky for like a certain date. So you could have like your birthday, and it will match like the star pattern of like the day you were born, or you could do it as like the first time you became like a millionaire, or when you got married or whatever. It's a really cool process. Um, I feel like this whole stream's barely even been about charts, to be honest, but it's because there's nothing happening in the market. The more stars, the more Mercedes. I do love Mercedes. I'd take a Mercedes over a BMW any day. Friday afternoon, bro. Fuck the charts. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I've already made profit today, so I'm happy. I caught shorts on NFP. I caught buys on the way up. So if there's nothing happening, if there's no available trades, then I can't really show you guys what isn't there. That's melted. Yeah, I feel like we're definitely trying to target these 1 hour. Oh, we've taken them actually. Uh, there you go. So we've taken the 1 hour liquidity points, like I was saying. ES, not quite taken this one out just yet. Probably buy a warehouse and turn it into your garage. Yeah, probably. I've seen videos online where it's like, oh, me and my friends decided to buy a warehouse and we've turned it into a garage, and they've just all got like, like Japanese cars, and they just work on them all day, every day, and it looks so good. It looks like the type of life I'd love to have. But I feel like my all-time favorite cars are like your super old cars, like Bentleys from like 1918 and stuff like this. Um, or a Corvette Stingray C3. Uh, you can't tell me that that is not just a thing of pure beauty. my only issue is that we've got this area here, as well as this area here that it could be hunting. Now, obviously, I know that we're quite close to this one, but we're still a good like 150 points away from this bottom one. It means stop losses would be either really large or likely to get swept. If NAS and SP500 closes below the price you marked as liquidity, should we expect a more bearish movement? So I understand where you're coming from, and usually yes. However, what I normally do is I look for that as we then have nowhere left to really go, if that makes sense. So you know, we come down and we hunt this area here, and then we're trying to find some form of, you know, order block, and then we break it down to the 1 minute, and we try and find a confirmation for entry, and then we basically go against it. So as I mentioned earlier, we have this area here that I'd like to see us get tapped into. So, you know, swing buys would be definitely available. I'm liking the fact that NQ is starting to break down to the downside. So ideally, I'd love to see shorts from this area here. You know, come take out this like remaining liquidity, leave the all-time highs untouched, and then tap in after about a week or two, maybe 3, get a confirmed new low after tapping into here. But as for liquidity, I normally see it as it swept this, it now has no more price points to really target, and so you're now wanting to try and get entry on the reversal, if that makes sense. Probably explained it awfully, but hopefully it clicked in your brain. US 30. Yeah, so for example, like US 30, I'd be interested in this area here for possible buy entries. Obviously, I wouldn't just be jumping straight in. Yeah, this is on the hourly chart, so I'd be breaking it down sort of on the 5 minute or the 1 minute, try and see a valid entry point. Same thing for NQ. You know, obviously I've marked out these zones, but I'll be watching it on the 1 minute to see how it actually reacts from this area. ES should... No, not yet. Makes me kind of wish that I held my NFP short from around here. Generational wealth right there. Handle is that? The 305. 305. Yeah, we took this temporary high on ES, but not on NQ. Okay, so I think longs are definitely in play somewhere soon. Possibly back up to sort of New York range, opening range. We'll be partying once fully loaded, then they can watch. Yeah, exactly. You know, I'll pull up on my yacht, and you know. Come on, give us an entry. What's the 5 minutes saying? See, the 5 minute did have an inverse fair value gap, but I really wanted this 1 hour block to get tapped into first. And it's just going to absolutely rip to the upside now, isn't it? I feel like we've missed it. but it is what it is. I believe there was a really wise man who once said, "It's Friday, fuck the charts." I'm looking at you, Rudy. I know him, lol. So we've now completely taken out this 5-minute gap. Come back up, see the New York high, and then maybe target the NFP high as well. NQ, we've swept this temporary high. Well, the lower high. So we've had quite a nice shift there. Is that? Yeah, it is a close above. So we're either going to fly up now, or like I previously said, we're going to have a bit of a retracement back into this area here. At which point, possibly look at getting in long, targeting the next lower high, or New York high. Yeah, the opening high. While the markets are just playing around a little bit, does anyone have any questions? Any philosophies they might want to go over? Any mindset questions? Strategy questions? If so, feel free to put them in the chat, and I will do my best to, give you my insight. To pass challenges, how many trades and how much risk do I take? It depends on the challenge, because, like I said, with futures accounts, it's you've got a very strict like loss limit. It's about 3% max that you're allowed to lose. So I tend to like to build a bit of a buffer. But then also you have trailing. So I'll tend to do like a couple scalps. Making sort of, I don't know, 0.1 to 0.3% per scalp. Your profit target is about 6%. So that'll then build me a daily buffer, at which point I'll then try and take a larger trade where I'll risk that whole buffer, or a substantial chunk of it, depending on the size. For forex accounts, I'd normally do about 0.5% risk, but that's because my risk to rewards are usually quite big. I'm sort of an average of about a 6 risk to reward. So even on 0.5% risk, I'm still getting about 3% profit. So 2 to 4 trades if they're winning, depending on the account rules. Obviously if it's a 6% profit target, 2 trades that are winning. And even then, you only need 1 winning trade, and then you have 6 attempts at the next one. Yeah, we didn't quite get the retracement that we wanted. Yeah. Don't think we're going to get a trade today, guys. 1/6 risk reward is great. Yeah, thank you. It took me a long time to develop the strategy that I have. I don't really follow like, what I like to call influencer strategies. The ones that you see online everywhere, like ICT, SMC, PO3, all these ones. I don't normally go for those. But what I do is I tend to take components of each one, put them together, along with like a couple of like little rules myself. For example, my daily box strategy is something that I came up with myself. where, you know, London takes Asia high, so then we're wanting London high to get swept, and then we look for sells. Obviously, didn't work because we had NFP, but I also can't show you it here because New York session never happened. This London swept Asia's high and low during the day, which means that you're probably in for a consolidating day. And what happens? We consolidated all day. We just literally went sideways. It does also work if London doesn't sweep. So, for example, London didn't sweep either, so now you're waiting for one of the Asia high or lows to get swept, and then you're looking for the opposite, which is kind of also what annoyed me on Tuesday. I mentioned it at the start of this stream, how I went for buys, and looking back at it, my strategy was telling me to sell, so I should have actually caught this order block here and got my entry. Which, to say that I always go for the 50% retracement as well, my entry would have been so clean. And then you target the opposing Asia session. So, for example, we took the Asia high, so your stop loss would have been just above the sweep, and then you're targeting the Asia low, which is just there. And that's a 10.6 risk to reward. And, you know, it's annoying when you look back at it and, you know, you see how simple the trade actually was. But yeah, for some reason, I was trying to have it respect an order block somewhere down here. I don't know why, but I mean, I still came out with profits. I'm not too annoyed, but it definitely sent me on a bit of a tilt. But yeah, I mean, it all just depends on your strategy for however you pass accounts. You know, I feel like before you take any type of prop firm challenge, you need to have a clear understanding of what your risk to reward is and what your win rate is. I mean, my win rate is 72.73% at the moment. So, you know, if I'm getting on average a 1.6, 1 to 6 RR with a 72% win rate, you know, that's clear profitability. But, you know, if you're going for, say, a 2 RR and you've got a, I don't know, 10% win rate, there's no point in you taking a funded challenge because you have work to do. You know, you need to improve your statistics before going for any type of challenge. We've not quite taken out this high yet, and we're starting to get a decent retracement. If we can get a bit more bearish movement, then I'd be interested in going along. Only issue is we've only got 9 minutes before my trading session ends. I only trade the first hour and a half of New York, and then I don't watch the markets past that point. And that's another key thing, is knowing when to stay out of the markets. Yeah, it's Friday too. Yeah, usually Fridays are actually all right for indices, to be honest. Monday, Tuesday, Friday. It's usually Wednesday, Thursday that not a lot happens. This week's been more of a sort of observation week for me as well. So I've been less aggressive in my trading. Just because obviously it's the first week of like the new year. You know, it's the first trading week. So, you know, you want to... Well, it's the first full trading week. Obviously, we had Thursday, Friday last week, which I made some nice profits on, but this is the first full week, so I kind of wanted to get a general idea of market direction. which it has done, because we're going down. Like, I think this is going to be the year, or at least the first half of the year, where indices finally start seeing a little bit of downside. I could be wrong. It all depends on what Trump decides to do. But I definitely think that we've burned the candle out, and we're going to finally start seeing the crash that has been due for so long. The markets have been so overinflated lately. But yeah, knowing when to stay out of the markets is one of the most important things, I think. When I first started trading, I used to have MetaTrader on my phone, and I'd open it up, I'd check the charts, and just because I opened up the app, in my mind I was like, I need to take a trade, and there was no trades available, but I took them anyway, but just because I felt like I had to. And yeah, it just rinsed my account. Whereas now I can stay out. Like, for example, I could have chased the long here, and it would have worked, but it would have been a heightened risk because we've got this 1 hour order block down here. So it wasn't really worth it. And so I know that it's better to just stay out and let the trade pass me by than it is to, try and catch it. And then, 20% of the time it'll work out, 80% of the time it'll end up, completely screwing you over. So, yeah, it's always good to just not focus on the profits and just focus on learning the process. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything today. We're definitely not. I've got 5 minutes left of my trading day, so I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. Pretty uneventful, but been a nice chilled out Friday vibe. I'm still ending the day. What am I at? $1,383 in profit. Just from my entries going short on NFP, buying it back up, taking it out this high, and I caught. What else did I catch? Oh yeah, I caught buys at market open in Asia as well. Again, just really small position, but my take profit was this high, and I got took out in London. That was a decent trade. It was somewhere around like the 200 mark, and yeah, it was just over 100 points. But yeah, that's going to be me, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. If you do take any trades, remember to trade safe.